evening, everyone. I'm Jeanne Taylor. I'm the CEO of American Public Media Group, and I would like to welcome all of you to the second annual Next Challenge for Journalism and Media Awards ceremony. So tonight, we're going to have a lot of fun. We're going to honor 31 finalists for the awards, and then we are going to give out awards to 7 award winners, and we also are going to be announcing the grand prize winners for tonight. And when you see these talented people and you hear about what they've been doing, it's going to be a great example of the incredible work going on across our country in media startups. These people are really impacting our world. Here at APMG, our mission is creating the future of public media by amplifying voices to inform, include, and inspire. And the next challenge is a critically important part of what we are doing to achieve our mission. As we all know, we've got a rapidly changing digital environment, and as things change, our traditional media models are challenged constantly. Here at American Public Media, we want to foster an environment that will encourage new and innovative media approaches to both media and its role in society. So as we work together, we can create a future of media that's inclusive, that's engaging, and that's responsive to our ever-changing world. And I think as we gather here today on the 3rd anniversary of George Floyd's murder here in the Twin Cities, it's really important that we have great media for our future. So tonight, I would invite you to sit back and relax and just enjoy and hopefully develop a passion for the innovation of media that is to come. Tonight is about the future of media. And with that, I will introduce Jeff Freeland Nelson, who will kick off our awards ceremony.
Thank you, Jeanne. Wow, okay, here we are, like real human beings in a space together, breathing the same air and getting to celebrate the future of media as represented by media startups across this nation. You know, I want to start, usually at the movie is when, at the end of the movie, you get the thanks and the credits. I'm going to start with the thanks. And I want to start by thanking, of course, our partners, which include AT&T, Thomson, Reuters, Knight Foundation, Google News Initiative, YouTube, and UNMET. And also our public media partners. This is the first year that we've had public media partners across the country, starting here, Minnesota Public Radio, of course, WAMU in Washington, D.C., KERA in North Texas, WHYY in Philadelphia, and LAist, our station in Los Angeles. And then our team and leadership here at American Public Media Group that have put up with the amount of work that it takes to put on the Next Challenge now for the 2nd year in a row. That includes the events team. Yes, thank you. A quick aside, when you're shooting a video, you have like a 1-camera shoot and you have a 2-camera shoot. This is a 37-camera shoot, right? So we have all these cameras, and we'll talk about them. This is happening on Zoom, this is happening here, and this is also streaming on YouTube right now to, I'm sure, millions and millions of people. Also want to thank our team in philanthropic development, communications, operations. Truly, it takes an army to make this entire 20-week process happen, but to really make tonight happen takes a very special army. Our advisors, so the awards tonight, for the most part, are being presented by the Board of Advisors for the Glen Nelson Center that have been part of this, many of them, operation for 5 years. So I'm really thrilled that they are here, and our Board of Trustees for Minnesota Public Radio and American Public Media Group. And then we talk about this thing we're doing, the Next Challenge, which takes some real expertise. And I'm thrilled that a representative of UNoodle, the platform that powers the next challenge, is here, Lorena Charolets, who's here, all the way from Mexico via Michigan, and really thrilled that she was able to join us this evening. And then so many of you here, so many of you that are watching who were mentors and judges who volunteered to be part of the next challenge. 56 people volunteered to be mentors and judges in this year's next challenge. But the real thanks, all of that, would be meaningless if it were not for the 31 finalist startups that are a few are here in the room, but most are joining us here on Zoom and patiently staring at a camera knowing that we're staring at them. And so I apologize to them for putting them through this. I jumped on and I said, if we had enough money, we'd fly them all out here, and maybe if we can raise enough, foreshadowing, we'll do that next year. 360 startups started this process. We're down to 31. And today we will announce 8 awards, including the grand prize. And so, of course, this brings up a question. It's a question that I've heard from a lot of people since we started the next challenge, which is, why are you doing this? Why do the next challenge? What's the point? And I finally figured out the answer. And it's, we don't know. Which is true, we don't. We don't know which one of these startups is going to figure out, to crack the code, to figure out the business model that's going to drive the future of journalism, We don't know which one of these mentorship relationships that we've created is going to turn into a board relationship that'll turn into an investment that will turn into rocketing that startup forward, right? We don't know what will happen, but we do know those things are going to happen. So that's why we do the next challenge. For them, for us, but really for the future of our culture, our society, everything that depends on media and journalism to not just thrive, but to survive, right? So one of my favorite quotes in the world is from this evolutionary biologist named Lynn Margulis, who way back in the 80s had said this. She said, life did not take over the world by combat, but by networking. I love that. I should tattoo this quote on me somewhere. So what she was saying is that plants, animals, spores, molds, fungi, right? The most successful of all these species succeed not by fighting each other, not by killing each other and eating each other. They actually succeed by cooperating. They succeed by collaborating. And so I'm not saying that we're spores, mold, and fungi, although some of us are. What I am saying is that the next challenge is here not to be a competition, although we call it a competition, but it's not here to be a competition. The next challenge is here to create a network, a collaboration between us, between the startup founders, to find ways to connect and support each other so that they can change the future of media, and so that we together can ensure that that media is healthy and thriving and benefiting all of us. So that's why we're here tonight. And with that, I'm going to get out of the way. Now we have the joy of giving away some awards and granting some money to some really amazing startups. So thank you so much for being here. Thank you to all of the finalists who are here on Zoom and here in the room. Thank you to everyone that's watching, both of the people watching on YouTube. And now I'd like to introduce my friend and advisor, Ashley Lowe's, who's going to give away the first award.
And before I do so, Jeff, am I allowed to take a moment to thank you? Because I don't think this event or the Glen Nelson Center would certainly run as well as it does without you. So thank you to Jeff. And also really impressed you managed to say fungi twice in welcome remarks. I think that was pretty good. Good evening, everyone. My name is Ashley Lowe's, and I am a proud board member of the Glen Nelson Center, and I am also the communications director at Target here in the Twin Cities. I'm very excited to be here today to help announce the recipient of the Audience Choice Award, which is exactly what it sounds like. Members of the public voted for the venture they thought had the greatest potential to transform the media industry. All 31 of our division finalists for the next challenge were eligible for this award, and it comes with a $10,000 prize. And I'd just like to say first, a big congratulations to all 31 division finalists who we are celebrating here today, because all 31 of you represent organizations working incredibly hard to improve the way that the world consumes media. So thank you, and I hope all 31 of you are incredibly proud of yourselves today as well. So as of midnight last night, we received nearly 6,000 public votes, and it was an incredibly tight race. So without further ado, I think by just 80 votes, the winner of the Audience Choice Award today is Grice Connect.
Thank you so much. This is a great honor. I tell you, it's this whole process has just been really incredible for us, but it's a little overwhelming. But this just shows you the engagement and the level of engagement we have in our community and all the communities we serve. Thanks so much for allowing us this opportunity.
My name is Mike Palmer. Good evening, everybody. I am, in addition to being on the advisory board of the Glen Nelson Center, I am privileged to be a trustee of American Public Media Group and Minnesota Public Radio. And I'm thrilled to be here this evening to announce the division winner of the category that represents such an important part of our media landscape in this era of misinformation and fake news. A strong, independent news media is indispensable for the vitality of our democracy and for the well-being of our society. This $20,000 grant is awarded to a startup pioneering in new ways to report news and to provide communities with fact-based insight, analysis, and information. Here's an introduction to the 11 finalists of the Future of News Division.
I saw how the digital age changed journalism. Too many of our colleagues have lost their jobs. Some go independent, losing vital newsroom resources. The problem is so critical that 1 in every 5 U.S. counties is at risk of becoming a news desert. Meanwhile, PR is cost prohibitive, leaving qualified voices, often from underrepresented communities, on the sidelines. LAist solves all of this with a two-sided marketplace where journalists discover experts, events, and news from the communities they're reporting on.
There are frequently comments about the proliferation of news deserts as well as digital news deserts, but there's actually a tertiary layer that I like to refer to called Black digital news deserts. And that's precisely why I decided to start and found the Kansas City Defender in July of 2021. Since then, we have grown exponentially, reaching over 50 million people, breaking over 15 national stories.
Our work has prompted outside investigations of government misconduct, informed the passage of several state laws, created legal precedent, and enhanced civic participation here. Open Vallejo is not just a newsroom, but a laboratory. Drawing on a model inspired by public health, we are making it easier for communities to launch their own pro-transparency and journalistic interventions, ensuring a robust news ecosystem and vibrant local democracy.
We learned that residents are really hungry for local news in Spanish. They want news that they can listen to and news that makes them feel proud of their community. Santa Cruz Local is going to produce local audio news in Spanish. A recent research study shows that when local news is delivered in this way, in Spanish, it leads to more civic engagement.
Trucha is a multimedia organization dedicated to the people, the culture, and the movements of the Rio Grande Valley. We do so through community-based journalism, through videography, and through arts programming that creates a more holistic and nuanced interpretation of our region. In 2022, a third of the articles published by Trucha were submitted by the community themselves, and some of the most popular articles were on topics like immigration, reproductive justice, and race, class, and gender issues.
There needs to be a re-envisioning, a restructuring of how local opinion comes into news and journalism locally and beyond.
We knew environmental issues were impacting local communities of color, so we asked them what they wanted to see reported on. You know, one of the things we're most proud of is that we actively recruit, train, and mentor Black and Brown journalists, and we get them excited about writing about the environment in their communities. And our ultimate goal is to inform communities, inspire civic participation, and build local democracy.
We created Grice Connect after a devastating hurricane as a way to connect resources to needs. Then came COVID, the collapse of the newspaper, and the 2020 election cycle. Folks, the picture being painted of my community by Facebook algorithms did not represent the fabric of this community. Our social capital was deteriorating quickly. We responded by creating a local news model that allows us to focus on sustainable ways to tell stories that bring us together.
There are 25 million Asian Americans and Pacific Islanders like me living in the United States. We are a community underserved, underreported by the media. We are seen as a perpetual foreigner, someone to blame for the COVID being brought to the United States. We are othered and made to feel like outsiders in our own country. That's why I founded AT&T.
Misinformation is a global and growing problem. We are building Information Tracer, an AI-based system to trace and monitor online misinformation. You can go to Information Tracer, search the hashtag, and our engine will collect cross-platform posts about the hashtag, and then it will generate different indicators of suspicious behaviors.
Our communities need and deserve something better. My colleagues and I founded Southeast Ohio Independent News to bring high-quality, accessible public service journalism back to our region. Cooperation, collaboration, and education are the future of local news, and you can help it take root.
Help us shine a light.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Ponte trucha.
So each of you are doing amazing work, and you should all win in a way, and you have as being a finalist tonight. So congratulations to each of you. Here is what the division judges said about the winner tonight. I'm impressed with their community-focused journalism and the clarity it brings to important issues to locals by locals. The content it is providing isn't one-dimensional. It's really attempting to cover the community in comprehensive and relevant ways. So I'm pleased to announce the winner tonight of the Future of News Award, Santa Cruz Local.
Wow, thank you so much. Thank you to the American Public Media Group for this honor. Thank you for elevating and investing in this corner of our industry. I'm so inspired by all the other finalists. I hope that all of you joining us here tonight really realize and appreciate that this is the future of local news. It's tiny, it's independent, it's online, and it's a whole lot more diverse than legacy media. I hope you join and support this movement that's really building. Thank you so much.
My name's John Whaley. I have enjoyed a long career in venture capital and private equity investment with Norwest Equity Partners. And tonight I am thrilled to be presenting the Future Tech Award to a division finalist using technology to advance the public interest. Two startups were nominated for this award by the division judges, Immortal Studios and SafeLink Network. Media technology plays a crucial role in advancing the public interest by promoting accessibility, inclusivity, and transparency. It allows for the dissemination of information to marginalized communities, provides platforms for underrepresented voices, and fosters public participation in democratic processes. And in the case of the winning startup, technology can play a crucial role in stopping the spread of misinformation and disinformation. The winner of the $10,000 Future Tech Award for the 2023 Next Challenge for Media and Journalism is SafeLink Network.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you so much, everyone. I'm so excited. Thanks for the organizer, the mentor, and everyone else. So yeah, I come from actually a computer science background. I did my PhD at New York University. So I basically, my thesis was about kind of detecting misinformation, and that's when I started to build some tools to do my research. And then actually somehow some journalists discovered my tool and started to use Information Tracer. So that's how I kind of intersected with the journalist world. So yeah, so I'm just very excited to be here, and I hope I can continue building the tool and help more journalists in the future. Yeah, thank you.
My name is Roberta Bonoff, and I'm thrilled to be here. I'm one of those who's been here since the very beginning, so I'm proud to be a board member of the Glen Nelson Center. My background's also, I've been a CEO, I've been an entrepreneur, I've been a mentor, so being able to see all of your wonderful companies is just an honor for what you've created. And it was also my pleasure to be one of the judges for tonight's Top Creator Reward. This $20,000 grant goes to a creator-founded startup producing high-quality news, cultural, educational content, primarily for social media. Social media, as we all know, has emerged as a powerful and influential force in our society. It plays a significant role in so many aspects of our lives. It has revolutionized communication, connecting people across borders, cultures, and time zones, enabling instant and global interactions. The finalists in the Top Creator division are all exploring ways to use social tools to drive positive change in their communities. Here is an introduction to our finalists.
The problem with the journalism sector is that there's still not an outlet that authentically and consistently speaks to Black Americans. That's why what we do works. We're building equity in media by providing coverage that accurately reflects the community we serve.
Gang violence, great athleticism and talent, slavery, and the model minority myth. Black, brown, and indigenous people are still missed and underrepresented in media, ignoring those of us who exist in the middle of these extremes. Instead of working with big-name talent and writers to depict stereotypical characters, we create stories with everyday people from our communities to reflect our true lived experiences.
Our platform is a leader in fully understanding the immigrant identity ecosystem, and we have a strong and growing following of young, socially conscious, diverse, and affluent listeners who trust us and come back every single week to listen to our conversations.
We're not just creating content. We're educating and building a safer, more inclusive environment online and in the real world. Our mission is to embolden LGBTQ+ people to live authentically because they see multifaceted representations from every corner of our intersectional communities. If our success is any indicator, the world needs us.
I didn't know that the founder of SiriusXM Radio is a trans woman, or that a Black gay millionaire helps fund the civil rights movement, or that companies like PayPal and Facebook have queer co-founders. And that's because neither mainstream business media nor LGBTQ general interest publications cover queer business with consistency and depth. So that's why I started Queerance.
At Black Girl, our mission is to inform, educate, and amplify the voices of underrepresented communities. We use all formats to produce our content, but primarily rely on digital text and podcasts, and of course, social media.
I've developed an innovative strategy of using my comedy background plus my climate science and policy degree from Columbia, which cost me $70,000, by the way, which is kind of a lot of money. But I put those two things together to make deeply researched, funny videos that help teach people about the climate crisis that people actually want to watch.
Through our comic books that is already out in the marketplace, we are sharing these stories of inspiration and empowerment that come from this timeless tradition that's always been about awakening heroes during this very critical time when there's a lot of nihilism, there's a lot of pessimism, and that we are here through these stories and characters to inspire people to awaken the hero inside of them so that they can step out and live empowered lives. And that is a really, really big social mission that we adhere to.
We use literature as a launch pad to educate, activate, and organize around feminist issues. What our competitors don't have is our expertise in online community building. Feminist Book Club has perfected the book-to-virtual community model, and we're doing it at a time when women's rights are literally a life and death issue. There's simply no better time to believe in and become a part of Feminist Book Club.
We disrupt the flow of misinformation that is specifically targeted to Black men by way of hindering their individual growth. We focus on empowering them to speak their truth, countering the toxic narratives fed to them, and correcting the record. I have been curating conversations and experiences that promote and encourage healing within self and for the future of a thriving Black community.
Now you can be more than an ally. You can be part of our story as we build an inclusive and supportive future together.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
I I just want to say to all of you, you are inspiring, you are amazing. What you're doing is truly going to change the world. And whether you win tonight or not, I just wish you all the luck, and you're already winning. So here's what one of my fellow judges had to say about tonight's winner. I am grateful for their commitment and passion for engaging people about the real impact we are having on the world we live in. Please keep using your humor to inform and your passion to make a difference. And the winner of the $20,000 Top Creator Award for the 2023 Next Challenge is Climate Town.
This is shocking. Thanks so much for giving us the award. Wow. The Next Challenge team, thank you so much. And I just want to say in general, thank you to all the experts that we reference for our videos. So, we're comedians, so we're coming at this from a comedy angle. We're trying to bring levity and interest and viewership into, the challenges of climate change and our small chance at averting it. So the big thanks is just to everyone's out there that's doing all the research and all the work, and a lot of the ideas that we need are out there, and we're just trying to bring life to them. So thank you.
I'm Jeanne Voigt, and I am very honored and proud to be here tonight. I am a fallen away commercial banker. I am an entrepreneur, and I continue to do mentoring as the work that I presently do with others who want to realize their own passions, as I did. Media companies hold a crucial responsibility to have a real impact on the communities they serve. As key information providers, they possess the ability to shape public opinion, influence discourse, and drive social change. By accurately and ethically reporting the news, media companies empower individuals with the knowledge needed to make informed decisions and actively participate in democratic processes. 3 startups were nominated for this award tonight: HYYY, Stories by Georgia Fort, and the Kansas City Defender. And the winner happens to be the Kansas City Defender.
Yeah, I just want to say that this is an immense honor, and this is definitely going to change the game, not only for Black news, but Black news in the Midwest, so thank you.
Yeah, and I can also just quickly add, definitely an extraordinary honor to win this award, and I just want to give thanks to everyone on our team and also to the legacy of the radical Black press, particularly because we're an abolitionist Black news outlet, and that's very important to the work that we do. So to be honored for the work that we're doing is amazing, and also just want to shout out to all the other organizations doing amazing work here. So thank you all.
My name is Andrew Murphy. I am a member of the Glen Nelson Center Board of Advisors, and also invest in startups and other innovative companies at Deepwater Asset Management here in Minneapolis. I'm excited to introduce the Power Platform Award winner. This $20,000 grant goes to a technology startup developing powerful ways for media content to be shared across the country and around the world. I love this category because platforms unlock and enable others to do great work. They provide infrastructure and technological capabilities that enable creators to reach target audiences and spread important messages. Media platforms offer centralized space for content creation and for consumers to find great content also. So a platform is a powerful tool, and I'm excited to celebrate a few platform creators today. Here is an introduction to the 10 finalists in the Power Platform division.
I was raised in a farm community where my immigrant family embraced the American dream. I founded E Pluribus to create Moxie and help us attain a more responsive democracy. Our team includes tech, media, and public policy experts. Moxie means bold courage, and it's also a short code for democracy.
I went to Google News, Apple News, Flipboard, Newsbreak, trying to find content from Black publishers. I could only count a maximum of 30. I actually also listen to podcasters. I went to Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts. It's a big world with millions of podcasters. Hard to find what I was actually looking for. So I created Hey Tide. Today, Hey Tide has over 200 Black publishers, over 2,000 Black podcasters, and you can be able to access all of them in one mobile app.
And seeing firsthand how news deserts leave over 64% of America without an equitable voice. To address that, we created a decentralized process to curate affordable ways for local newsrooms to expand coverage and equitable ways to ensure underserved communities can share their stories.
Traditional publishers are completely overwhelmed. Literary agents get over 18,000 book submissions per year and can only accept 2 to 3. Authors of color, LGBT, and disabled authors are all overlooked. StoryForge is a platform where writers can share their work, read others' work, and give and receive feedback.
KERA, a marketplace for brands and media companies to hire professional freelance visual storytellers worldwide. We are powering the shift away from stock agencies and towards the creator economy with a platform that combines SaaS tools for creators and enterprises with a marketplace where they can connect and transact.
We are unlocking the power of storytelling through audio. So, Audio Moguls is a Milwaukee-based podcast network and audio production company specializing in amplifying the voices and stories of Black and Brown creators. What makes our company unique is that we offer a 50-50 revenue sharing model for our creators to fairly compensate them for the incredible work that they produce.
At the heart of Uncovered is our desire to restore the voice of each victim, who too often are overshadowed by the notoriety of their assailants or reduced to the traits considered outside of societal expectations. We believe every life is valuable. We are bringing justice to those who have been marginalized or silenced.
At Being Human, we enable human connections at scale. We do so with our groundbreaking AI, all developed in-house. Gets back to what's been missing for so many years, or even decades in marketing, which is human connection. When people see a video with Be Human, they think it was filmed just for them.
Featured is a decentralized question and answer marketplace. We combine human expertise with generative AI to empower businesses to answer questions and get featured in more than 500 media destinations. We believe that by decentralizing Q&A, we will democratize thought leadership.
When my wife started podcasting, she quickly realized it's more demanding than it looks. She was spending hours managing her show and needed several apps just to stay on top of it all. And that's why I created PodPal, to remove the busy work of podcast planning, publishing, and promotion. Our all-in-one platform drives productivity and reduces burnout. PodPal is changing the game for podcasters by giving them the tools they need to stay on track and reach their goals. So join us in becoming a podcaster's best friend.
It's a group of entrepreneurs with big things ahead. Congratulations to each of you and to one of you in particular. Here is what the judges had to say about the winner of the Power Platform Award. They're passionate in purpose and eloquent in describing the large opportunity and vision. The startup is such an innovative and intuitive approach to helping anyone launch a podcast. I can't wait to see all the stars that they launch. And the winner of the $20,000 Power Platform Award for the 2023 Next Challenge is PodPal. Congratulations.
We started this to make it easy for aspiring hobby and professional podcasters to get their message out to the world, and it's already helping hundreds of thousands of podcasters to do that. And ultimately, we want to make a greater impact on society by increasing the diversity of voices and content in podcasting. And so I'm honored to receive this award along with Keith, our VP and head of UX, and I'll let him say a couple words as well. Thank you to Thomas Reuters, who sponsored this award, as well as the Next team for selecting us.
Humble and honored to be here. It's been a great journey with Aaron, building PodPal, talking with hundreds and hundreds of podcasters about what their barriers are, getting their message out, and for us to go back to the drawing board each time and work on features that can help remove them so we can get more and more voices out there. So if you have a podcast, don't let the administrative side of it bum you out. Go ahead and sign up and, and get out there and get your message.
My name is Libby Lofka, and I'm a proud member of the Glen Nelson Center Board of Advisors and also a trustee of the APMG and Minnesota Public Radio Board. I'm thrilled to be here to celebrate the creativity and hard work of all the entrants in the Next Challenge competition. At the core of every successful startup is a vision, an idea that drives everything they do. This vision serves as the guiding force that fuels innovation, drives ambition, and propels the team forward in pursuit of their goals. I want to congratulate the 3 startups nominated for this award by the division judges: Open Vallejo, Feminist Book Club, and Visura. The $10,000 Vision Award is granted to a finalist with a bold vision to reinvent media. In the case of this winner, and I have to edit a bit here, to mess up systems of oppression since 2018. The winner of the 2023 Next Challenge Vision Award is Feminist Book Club.
We had no idea that we were even going to be nominated for this, so thank you so much. I'm at a loss for words, but this Vision Award is really for our team of contributors. We've got about 15, 20, I have no idea how many contributors we have at this point, across the country, and I couldn't do it without the team. So Ra's my right hand.
If the team could be here.
If the team could be here, but we're the only ones in Minnesota, so here we are. Thank you so much.
I just want to confirm there are 2 people watching on YouTube. They're my parents. There's a lot more people watching on YouTube. My parents are watching on YouTube, which is very exciting, at least to me. So this is I will fully admit that I did not prepare really much to say right now because I figured you would be tired of words. But I do want to say, well, first of all, Feminist Book Club, you screwed it all up. We don't do awards. We don't do like these acrylic things because it's all been virtual. Then you came up here and we have to give you something. So we'll give you, before you leave the building, we're going to come up with something. We'll frame something, we'll give it to you. So thank you for being here. So before I turn over the room to Jeanne to bring us home with the grand prize, I just want to again thank everyone involved in the Next Challenge, my family for putting up with a lot of time and work that's gone into this over the last 20 weeks. And I also just want to make one pitch, and it's actually a pitch Glen Nelson Center has not really done, which is to say, hey, let's raise some money. So starting in September, we're actually going to do the first annual campaign for Glen Nelson Center to support this important work, both here in Minnesota, but also nationally. And so as you can see, there's a QR code. This is very fancy. So for all of you here and all of you watching, you can take your phones out and look at that. Why isn't anyone taking their phones out? No, I'm just kidding. No, you don't have. But this is your opportunity to support this work, and we'll be reaching out to a lot of you over the next 3 months, because really what we want to do is accelerate the work of Glen Nelson Center to move even more deeply into the not just national but global ecosystem of media startups, and to realize that the work that is done here, the work that is done by these tremendous startup founders is the future of media, right? This is not just, and when you say it's the future, it's not just that they're going to do it, but they're going to lead us. We are going to learn from them. And that is really our purpose, is to learn. So with that, I'm going to stop talking and turn things over to Jeanne.
It's a great privilege to be here with all of you. What an inspiring evening so far. And I'm thrilled that I get to close us out with the grand prize. So Jeanne Bafidi, I'm a proud trustee of Minnesota Public Radio and American Public Media Group. I'm also the Chief Communications Officer at Thomson Reuters and was a member of the grand prize jury for this year's Next Challenge. We had the daunting task of choosing between 3 extraordinary division winners to select a venture that would receive an additional grand prize award. It was quite the task. Before I introduce the rest of the grand prize jury, we want you to learn a bit more about our division winners. So we're going to show you the 90-second pitch videos they submitted as part of the competition.
My name is Raleigh Williams. I'm a comedian from Brooklyn, and I'm the creator and host of Climate Town, which is a comedy series about climate change. Now, I've found that it's pretty difficult to get people to pay attention to climate change. It's simultaneously incredibly depressing and deeply complicated, and it's just tough. It's not a fun topic at parties. So I've developed an innovative strategy of using my comedy background plus my climate science and policy degree from Columbia, which cost me $70,000, by the way, which is kind of a lot of money. But I've put those two things together to make deeply researched, funny videos that help teach people about the climate crisis that people actually want to watch. And against all odds, it's actually kind of taken off. We got 460,000 subscribers, 15 million views, 2 million hours of climate content watched because it's done in a funny way that's not depressing and doesn't make people want to turn it off. However, we are an incredibly small team and we are strapped for bandwidth. We have a million ideas for videos we want to do, but I'm not only the writer, but I'm also the editor. So after this video, I gotta edit this video. And we got a lot going on. We're trying to make a podcast and a newsletter, but more importantly, we want to start working with bigger organizations who are good at getting people to actually act on the climate crisis. We get people to watch, they get people to act. A little extra funding could really help us make this thing the best it could possibly be. Thank you so much.
Hi, I'm Aaron P. Woods, founder and CEO of PodPal. Everything you need to manage your podcast all in one place. When my wife started podcasting, she quickly realized it's more demanding than it looks. She was spending hours managing her show and needed several apps just to stay on top of it all. And that's why I created PodPal, to remove the busy work of podcast planning, publishing, and promotion. Our all-in-one platform drives productivity and reduces burnout. I talked to over 200 podcasters, built a team, and launched our MVP without raising any money. I did this while working full-time at Microsoft and juggling my role as a husband and father of 4, including one son with special needs. Creating a successful podcast is about creating a successful process, and that's what our ad-focused competitors don't get. The other guys are selling the dream of monetizing podcast content, but fail to provide solutions for producing quality content regularly. And that's what actually drives audience engagement and growth. PodPal is changing the game for podcasters by giving them the tools they need to stay on track and reach their goals. We combine traditional podcast hosting and distribution technology with the project management features you'd find in SaaS applications like Trello and Asana. Before us, this didn't exist. We acquired over 750 users and are testing pricing with several paying customers to determine if our business model is scalable. With your help, we can focus on our unit economics and driving more adoption as we prepare to raise our seed round. So join us in becoming a podcaster's best friend.
Imagine you're a South Santa Cruz County resident. You love your community. Its rich agricultural history, its diverse immigrant communities, its vibrant art scene. You're one of about 72,000 residents who speak Spanish at home. It can be really hard to find local news in Spanish for your community. A lot of the news about your community is negative. Santa Cruz Local interviewed about 170 South Santa Cruz County residents. We asked, what kind of news do you want and how do you want it delivered? We learned that residents are really hungry for local news in Spanish. They want news that they can listen to and news that makes them feel proud of their community. We're setting out to do just that. Santa Cruz Local is going to produce local audio news in Spanish. We're going to deliver it to people's phones through text or WhatsApp. A recent research study shows that when local news is delivered in this way, in Spanish, it leads to more civic engagement. People are more likely to participate in local midterm elections and get involved. We have what we need to launch, but a grant from Next Challenge will allow us to reach product market fit just so much faster. Thank you for your consideration.
So hopefully you can see why this was such a challenge. These are our 3 grand prize finalists, 3 very different and very promising media startups in different categories. So I was joined on the grand prize jury by Fred Jacobs, co-founder of Jacobs Media, Neil Scarborough, vice president and general manager of Marketplace, and Craig Newmark, a media industry leader and the founder of Craigslist. We all met yesterday, and we spent a lot of time talking and debating and talking some more. And finally, we voted, and then we talked a bit more, and we voted again, because that's how important this is. The result of this conversation is in this envelope. So is everyone ready? Yeah, let's do it. The grand prize for the 2023 Next Challenge for Media and Journalism, recognizing the startup with a powerful opportunity to transform media of the coming decade, goes to, it's a tie. Well, I know, didn't expect that, did you? One winner of the grand prize is Climate Town.
Whoa. Wow. We're not expecting that. Thank you so much to the whole Next Challenge team. Again, we started this in 2020. We're from comedy, have comedy background. We have some engineering experience, some climate experience, but really, we were doing comedy shows in New York and just, out in bars and basements and performing for 4 or 5, 10 people. And we realized that, we can use our comedy experience and bring some of our climate knowledge and put them together to maybe help people realize that there are opportunities to avert the climate crisis. And it's been a great 2.5 years to get to this point. It's mostly been funding from people watching the shows and fan support, and this really means a lot to us. So thank you, and congratulations to the finalists too. PodPal, we might be talking. We're trying to start a podcast. This is what this money's for. So this is honestly very helpful to us because I don't know if we would have found PodPal. So thank you.
The final winner of the grand prize is PodPal.
All I can say is praise God. Thank you for that honor. All 3 of us were worthy. Climate Town, feel free to send your portion on over to PodPal. I'll send you our address. Willingly accept the rest of the grant. But yeah, I'll kick it over to Keith and let him say a couple words as well. We're just extremely honored and very grateful for this. We've put in literally day and nights, and we still have full-time jobs. We've done this on the side on nights and weekends we've been working on this almost 4 years now. So it means a lot to us and our families, my wife, my kids, Keith's kids. We've all sacrificed to be in this moment. So can't say thank you enough.
Yes, thank you to the organization. Thank you to everybody for the exposure to all your amazing work that you're doing. It's truly, truly inspiring. Aaron and I have just been sharing links throughout this experience with all of the cool and very talented founders and entrepreneurs who are part of this challenge. So we're just in awe of all the work, and we're also very humbled with this opportunity, and it's only going to drive us to continue doing the work and support the messages that are going out there and get behind the new innovation. So thank you so much to everybody and who's there tonight and on this call.
Just amazing. This brings us to the end of the 2023 Next Challenge for Media and Journalism. And I think first it would be great for us to congratulate all of the division finalists, tonight's winning organizations, and everyone who's been involved in this process. We recognize all of you as playing a crucial role in the future of media, and we hope to support you in as many ways as we can going forward. Thank you to our sponsors and to the entire team here at American Public Media Group that made the Next Challenge happen. Thank you, Jeff, once again. And thanks to all of you joining on the live stream here in the room who've supported in many ways, near and far. Thank you for your support.